guys, here we go. We've got two geysers set up for you. One with the yellow camera and the hero mounts. One with the turquoise and the Osmo mounts. We also have the spare mounts coming to you. So you hear it beeping, meaning it wants to arm or wants to be armed because it's been sitting. So we're gonna go ahead and show you the jumper radio, powered on with the Crossfire module inside and ready to go. And the multi-protocol module will be in the box as well, and you'll be able to add that if you'd like. We're going to use the SA for the arm switch, so there's the arming. We also have the 1 through 6, which is set up for camera stabilization. So 1 is going to be unlocked, or actually locked horizon, so it's actually going to leave the camera in the fixed position, and that position is going to be determined by your slider here on the side. This right side slider will change the pitch of the gimbal, and then you can either keep it locked by holding 1, 2, or 3 as your buttons. When you get to 4, 5, and 6, you'll see that it now is in the stabilized range. So we're going to go ahead, and you want to set the angle before you put it into stabilize, and then when you're in stabilize, you can go ahead and move it, and you'll see it keeps the pitch of the angle. Now, something really, really important is to make sure that your accelerometer is calibrated. So the first thing you always want to do, no matter what, is we want to make sure it's always plugged in, laying flat as possible. If you don't let it stay flat, then whenever you go to first power it up and you're shaking it around, the gimbal will not know where to stabilize at. So we definitely want to do that. And so we've got it here, and again, you can adjust it while it's stabilized, but your best bet is to always fix the position first how you want it, which is typically going to be straight, and then you'll go ahead and put it in stabilize, and then again, here we go, we can see it tracking with the camera. So that's going to be the bare bones basics of your operation. So just to follow up again, arming, slider, 1 or 6, those are going to be your main buttons and use for the features that are provided on. Alright, so now that we showed you the gimbal tilt and how to adjust the gimbal with the slider, and then also using the 6 or the 1 to either set it or set it into horizon lock, I wanted to show you the last thing is going to be your reverse switch, which switches your camera from the front to the rear. This switch right here, which is actually the very bottom one, it's SF. It's on the same side as the throttle, so as you're using your throttle, you can go ahead and flip it. And the reason we did that is if you're doing it on the opposite side where you're trying to pitch, then it becomes more complicated because you're wanting to do a nice transition. So if you're flying forward and you flip it, you don't want it to abruptly just flip. You have to kind of let off as you flip. So you're going to kind of transition off and then transition back on as it flips. And that's going to allow you to kind of transition nicely from flying the wrong way to flying the other way, just because of the tilt of the aircraft. So again, SF, it reverses your camera and reverses the controls on the pitch. So a really good way to just get used to testing it is with it on the ground, go ahead and arm it, and then you can pitch forward and backward, and then you can let it sit level, flip the switch, and then pitch forward and backward, and you'll see it'll change which direction is forward. So that's an easy way to test it on the ground without having to fly and in the goggles, just to ensure yourself and give yourself some confidence. So again, SF, the bottom switch on the left side, is going to be your triggering of the switching of the cameras for the cheat on this one. Now, just to give you some other